Hello, I'm Nikki Newman. This is my official YouTube channel. Please subscribe and support us.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a wild one in Genoa City. We are diving deep into the latest drama, and honestly, the sheer amount of chaos happening right now is off the charts. Let's jump straight into the madness because there is a lot to unpack today. So let's start with Victoria Newman, because this woman is on an absolute tear right now, and not in a good way. She is currently on what we are calling the Protect Dad Tour, because that is exactly what she is doing, just defending Victor blindly. Nate Hastings just confronted her. He laid it all out. He told her Victor is wrong, and you know what? Victoria knows it. She knows her father is crossing lines, but she does not care. She stood right there and defended him anyway. Both Victor and Victoria have this twisted mindset. They actually believe that anything they do is completely fine as long as it is for the good of the company. It is corporate brainwashing at its finest, and it is so frustrating to watch, but also kind of fascinating because Victoria used to have a moral compass, sort of. Now she is just Victor too. And Nate is just standing there probably wondering why he even tries, because you cannot argue with a brick wall. And Victoria is a brick wall right now. She will not hear a word against her father. But it is not just her, because Claire Grace Newman is doing the exact same thing. Claire is defending the head of the family too. She is fully drinking the Newman Kool-Aid, which is dangerous because Claire is still trying to find her place. And siding with Victor's bad behavior is a choice, a very loud choice. So now you have Victoria and Claire both acting like Victor can do no wrong, which brings up a massive question. Where is Nikki in all of this? Because Nikki Newman is not blind. She sees what Victor does. And she usually calls him out when he goes too far. So with Victoria and Claire enabling him, I am wondering if this is going to cause a huge conflict with Nikki, because Nikki will not just sit back. She will explode, and I cannot wait to see that explosion. It is going to be epic. But let's talk about the history here for a second, because Victor has been getting away with everything for decades. He builds these walls around his family, and he demands absolute loyalty. And Victoria's giving it to him, even when it makes her look foolish. Nate was right to call her out. But Nate is an outsider in the Newman dynamic. He does not understand the deep-rooted psychological hold Victor has on his kids. It is a cult. The Newman family is basically a corporate cult, and Victoria is the high priestess right now, justifying every shady move, every bad decision, as long as Newman Enterprises makes a profit. It makes you wonder what her breaking point is. And because she has to have one, right, maybe Nikki will be the one to break her out of this trance. Or maybe Victoria is just too far gone. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers is losing her mind. She is completely spiraling. And honestly, it is hard to watch, but also impossible to look away, because Phyllis just got hit with the ultimate betrayal. Well, betrayal in her eyes. Summer Newman sent her a letter, a physical letter, and it was brutal. The redhead found out that Summer wants absolutely nothing to do with her anymore, just completely cutting ties. And if that was not enough, Daniel Romalotti Jr. did the exact same thing. He disowned his mother too, both of her kids. Gone, just like that. And Phyllis is shattered, but she is not crying in a corner, no. She is doing what Phyllis always does. She is lashing out, she is getting angry. She is claiming she can do it all by herself. She keeps saying she does not need anyone. But we all know that is a lie. Because it is lonely at the top, or in her case, lonely at the bottom. She is so isolated right now. And isolation is the worst thing for someone like Phyllis, because she gets in her own head, she starts plotting, she starts scheming. I really wonder if this total rejection from Summer and Daniel is going to force her to take some drastic action, or if it will just make her situation a million times worse. Knowing Phyllis, it will be the latter. She is her own worst enemy. She always has been. She pushes people away and then gets mad when they leave. It is a vicious cycle. And right now she is spinning out of control faster than ever before. And because she is hurting, she wants to make other people hurt. So she targeted Lily Winters. Phyllis went straight for Lily, and she was vicious. She harshly criticized Lily in a massive confrontation. And the main target of her attack, Lily's recent kidnapping stunt, Phyllis just ripped into her, mocking the whole thing, making fun of it, which is so twisted because Phyllis actually knows what it is like to be kidnapped. She was held hostage by Martin Laurent a year ago, along with Sharon Newman. That was real trauma. So for Phyllis to mock Lily's situation just shows how dark her mind is right now. She is weaponizing her own trauma to hurt Lily. It is ugly and it is raw. And Lily was just standing there taking this barrage of insults. But Lily is not weak. She is confident. She mocked the Summers Corporation right back. But Phyllis is a wounded animal right now, and wounded animals bite. The confrontation between these two women was intense, just pure venom. Phyllis is projecting all of her pain about Summer and Daniel onto Lily, because it is easier to fight a corporate rival than to face the fact that your own children hate you. It is classic deflection, but it is going to backfire because Lily has backing, Lily has family, Phyllis has no one. She is totally alone, and that makes her unpredictable and dangerous. But the most dangerous situation right now is in Las Vegas because Nick Newman is in serious trouble. He is out there supposedly looking for Matt Clark, but he is not acting like a hero. He is not the reliable Nick, we know. Because Nick is using fentanyl. Yes, you heard that right. Nick is heavily drugged up, and it is terrifying. He is completely vulnerable, and while he is high out of his mind, Matt Clark is getting closer. The longtime villain is literally inching his way toward ambushing his old enemy, and Nick has no idea. He is completely defenseless. It is a disaster waiting to happen. And we have to talk about this phone call because Nick got a call from Sharon Newman and Chelsea Lawson. They were calling from Genoa City. They were desperate for news. Chelsea is terrified. She is worried sick about Adam Newman. She is afraid Adam is going to slip back into his dark spider persona out in Vegas. And Sharon is trying to keep Chelsea calm. So they call Nick. And Nick answers. He starts off trying to sound upbeat. He tells them Adam is with Reza Thompson. He says things are going well. He starts the conversation sounding super enthusiastic, but it is fake. It is the drugs talking. And then the fentanyl really hits him. Right in the middle of the call, Nick's voice changes. He gets confused. He gets sluggish. He is exhausted. The drugs just pull him down. He literally falls asleep while talking to them. He nods off on the phone. And Sharon and Chelsea are just listening to this dead air. They are wondering if he is even still there. It is so creepy and so sad. Nick eventually wakes up. He panics. He makes up a quick excuse. He says Adam is calling him on another line. And he just hangs up. He completely bails on the call, leaving Sharon and Chelsea totally freaked out. They start discussing how weird Nick is acting because they know something is wrong. They just do not know it is fentanyl. And where is Adam during all of this? Adam is supposed to be helping Nick. He is supposed to be watching his brother's back, but Adam is being Adam, selfish, reckless. He is busy kissing Reza. He is flirting with her, completely betraying Chelsea back home. Chelsea is literally shaking with worry about him, and he is locking lips with a woman from his shady past. Adam assumes Reza's boyfriend is a man, and Reza gets all mysterious. She asks him how he knows that. It is a weird little exchange, but it just shows how distracted Adam is. He is playing games. He is slipping right back into that Vegas underground lifestyle. So Nick is all alone. He passes out on the sofa, just completely out cold from the drugs. And Matt Clark is out there getting ready to strike. Nick is a sitting duck. There is no backup. Adam is busy cheating. Sharon and Chelsea are hundreds of miles away. It is the perfect storm for Matt Clark to finally get his revenge. The suspense is killing me because Nick cannot fight back in this state. He can barely keep his eyes open, let alone fight off a calculated psycho like Matt Clark. We are watching a slow motion car crash in Vegas. And I don't see how Nick gets out of this without getting seriously hurt or worse. Let us rewind a bit and look at the whole Martin Laurent situation, because it ties directly into why Phyllis is acting the way she is today. Martin Laurent was a monster. He fought his own twin brother, Alan. He survived a crazy fall from a second-story window. And then he literally stole Alan's identity. It was insane. Tracy Abbott was in love with Alan, and she was left completely heartbroken when the truth came out. Martin fooled everyone. But the worst part was what he did to Sharon and Phyllis. He locked them up in an abandoned psychiatric facility. He held them hostage. And during that time, Sharon and Phyllis formed this unbreakable bond. They survived together. They leaned on each other. But look at them now. Sharon processed the trauma. She moved on. She is acting like a rock for everyone else right now. She is fielding these crazy phone calls from Nick. She is calming Chelsea down. She even confronted Phyllis recently. Sharon told Phyllis to stop her destructive corporate warfare against Newman Enterprises because Sharon is protective of the Newman legacy. But Phyllis did not heal. She is still trapped in that panic. That is why she teamed up with Kane Ashby to try and take over Genoa City. That is why she is attacking Lily. Phyllis is just bleeding all over everyone around her. She refused to let Martin take credit for her survival when Chance Chancellor brought him to the prison visitation room. But in a way, Martin broke her, because she has not been the same since. And that brings us back to Lily. Lily represents stability. She has deep ties to the Winters and Abbott families. She is a prominent business figure. She is everything Phyllis is failing to be right now. So of course Phyllis hates her. Of course Phyllis is going to mock her kidnapping stunt, because Phyllis is bitter. She looks at Lily and sees someone who still has a family, someone who still has respect, while Phyllis just has a piece of paper from Summer telling her to drop dead. The contrast is jarring, and you have to wonder if Kane Ashby realizes what a mess his business partner is. Kane is ambitious. He wants this corporate takeover. But chaining himself to a spiraling Phyllis might be the worst business decision he has ever made. Because Phyllis is a liability. She is a loose cannon. She is picking fights in public. She is alienating the only people who ever cared about her. Daniel Jr. was her rock for a long time. Even when things were bad, Daniel tried to understand his mother. But this time, he is done. He is protecting his own peace. He looked at Summer's letter and said, you know what, me too. And that is devastating. To have both of your children look at you and decide their lives are better without you in them. It is a heavy burden, and Phyllis is carrying it by throwing rocks at everyone else. And speaking of heavy burdens, let's look at Nick again. Nick has always been the golden boy, the reliable brother, the one who protects the family. He is the father of Summer, Noah, and Faith. He is supposed to be the strong one, but right now he is a junkie. He is drowning in fentanyl, and it is such a tragic fall from grace. Why is he using, is it the pressure? Is it the trauma of everything his family goes through? Victor's constant manipulations, whatever it is, it has reduced him to a guy nodding off on a couch in a cheap Vegas hotel room while a killer hunts him down. Matt Clark is not someone you mess with. He is vengeful, he is calculating, he has hated Nick for years, and this is his golden opportunity. And Adam could stop it. If Adam was paying attention, he could save his brother. Because Adam knows Vegas. Adam knows the dark corners, but Adam only cares about himself. He is so easily distracted by a pretty face and a blast from the past. Riza is pulling him right back into the gutter, and he is going willingly, leaving Chelsea back in Genoa City to practically pull her hair out with worry. Chelsea knows Adam, she knows his patterns. That is why she is so terrified. She knows that Vegas changes him, but she doesn't even know the half of it. She doesn't know about the kissing, the flirting, the total disregard for their relationship. When Chelsea finds out, and she will find out, it is going to destroy her. So we have all these separate disasters happening at once. Victoria destroying her moral code for Victor. Phyllis destroying her life because her kids dumped her. Nick destroying his body with drugs while a killer stalks him. And Adam destroying his relationship for a cheap thrill. It is a master class in self-sabotage across the board. Every single one of these characters is making the worst possible choice they could make. And as viewers, we just get to sit back and watch the fireworks. Let's circle back to Victoria and Nate for a minute. because Nate Hastings is a smart guy. He is a former doctor, he knows how to diagnose a problem, and he has diagnosed the Newman family dynamic as completely toxic. He tried to explain this to Victoria. He tried to show her that blindly following Victor is going to lead to ruin, but Victoria gave him that icy corporate stare, the one she perfected by watching her father. She basically told Nate to mind his own business, because in her mind, Victor's wrongdoings are justified. It is a terrifying way to live, constantly moving the goalposts of morality just to keep the family business on top. And Claire Grace is right there learning these bad habits. Claire is a recent addition to the Newman orbit. She has a complex past. She is eager to please. She wants to belong. So she looks at Victoria and Victor, and she mimics them. She thinks that showing extreme loyalty to Victor is how she secures her place in the family. But she doesn't realize she is tying herself to a sinking ship of ethics. If Nikki steps in, and I really hope she does, Claire might find herself caught in the crossfire between the Newman matriarch and the CEO, and that is not a safe place to be. The web of lies and betrayal in Genoa City is thicker than ever. From the corporate boardrooms where Victoria and Lily are fighting their respective battles to the gritty hotel rooms of Las Vegas, where Nick is fading away, everything is connected by this thread of desperation. Phyllis is desperate for control. Victoria is desperate for her father's approval. Chelsea is desperate for Adam's safety. And Matt Clark is desperate for revenge. It is a powder keg. And the fuse is lit. We will be keeping a very close eye on all of these storylines, especially the Vegas situation, because time is running out for Nick Newman. If he doesn't wake up soon, he might never wake up at all. Matt Clark is coming, and he is bringing hell with him. Stay tuned, because things are about to get really, really ugly, and we will be right here to break it all down for you. Let's just reflect on the history between Nick and Matt Clark for a second, because newer viewers might not understand the gravity of this situation. Matt Clark is not just some random thug. He is a deeply ingrained part of Nick's past. Their rivalry goes way back. It is rooted in deep personal hatred. Matt has always felt slighted by the Newmans. He looks at Nick and sees a guy who had everything handed to him, the money, the looks, the family name, and Matt has always wanted to tear that down, to humiliate Nick, to break him. And over the years, they have had some massive clashes. But Nick was always strong enough to fight back. He always had his wits about him. He had the Newman resources. He had his physical strength, but right now he has none of that. Fentanyl strips all of that away. It turns a strong man into a helpless victim. And Matt knows this. He is stalking Nick like a predator stalks a wounded deer. He is taking his time. He is savoring the hunt, because he knows Nick cannot run and he cannot fight. The sheer terror of that setup is brilliant writing, honestly. It takes a legacy hero and puts him in the most degrading, terrifying position possible. And the fact that Adam is just a few rooms away, completely oblivious, just adds to the tragedy. It is Shakespearean, the tragic flaw of the brother, the vulnerability of the hero, the creeping doom of the villain. It is soap opera perfection. And I am here for every single agonizing second of it. So buckle up, because the next few episodes are going to be a bumpy ride.